earlier today, I was telling my mother about Erin Condren, who is our guest for this evening. I was telling her, you're not really a real mom unless you have an Erin Condren life planner. Of course, that was a joke, but kind of not so much of a joke. It's literally one of my favorite brands as a mom. I'm very excited to have her on. We're going to be talking about her startup advice, being a mom and being in business, and so much more. Make sure that you ask your questions, so check in on the chat. Also use the hashtag YFE chat. We're going to be live for 30 minutes. Hi everyone, you're watching YFE Chat Live, the live show that happens every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern here on YFElive.com. Tonight's episode is episode 85, and it's brought to you by Ovali TV. Ovali believes in building community through shared experiences. We produce professional live webcasts that bring tribes together. And by MailChimp. MailChimp is the best way to design, send, and share email newsletters. You can get started today at MailChimp.com for free. And if you follow us on Instagram, you see that we moved Freddie around. If you can find him, then you get an extra special prize. And so just remember to sign up at yfe.me/mailed it. That's where you can find out what's going on with YFE. If you missed tonight's show, we will send you information on the replay, etc., all that fun stuff. So one of the things that we do here at YFE is our Bootstrap Book Club, which is a big, nice, robust, engaged book club over on Facebook. And we're actually reading The Thank You Economy with our host at the Stacey Harris. We're going to try and bring her in just a second. So bringing in Stacey Harris, she's going to feature two of our Bootstrap Book Club members tonight and just give them a thank you for answering question number 7. Question 7 was a controversial one where I even commented kind of a sassy comment too. So I was really proud of myself. But Stacey, so you have two people that you wanted to feature tonight for Bootstrap Book Club. Who were they?
I do. I am featuring tonight Allie Meehan. I hope that's how you pronounce it. She had some really great answers to a couple of questions, so I'm excited to get to highlight her this week. You can connect with her on Twitter at Coastal Woman. Also, somebody in the chat, which as you guys, if you watched last week, know I always like to feature people who are actually here. So Amanda Schaffner of The Path of Least Revision. The Path of Least Revision. She's in the chat now. She also had some really good insights, and there was a really good discussion, which I really liked to see happen in the comments. And I mentioned this actually in the book club, but I love that everyone's sort of sharing their take because it's not one size fits all. It's not one thing fits everybody. So it's nice to see sort of a give a take and a discussion about differing viewpoints. So I really like that. And she jumped in with Chrissy, who's actually also here today. See, now I'm sneaking in extra people to feature. So it was really cool. And Jen did get sassy. So if you want to see sassy Jen, join us in the book club.
Right?
I can't talk tonight, Jen.
Well, Stacey, where can everyone find you on Twitter? You're tweeting right now for us.
I am tweeting at YF Entrepreneur, so you'll find me at the hashtag YFE chat, sharing insights and, all of that good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stacey.
Thank you.
So we'll connect with Stacey at the end of the live show tonight, too, to make sure that we get all of the last thoughts and bring in some of your opinions, too, from Twitter. So let's hear a little bit more about our guest. It's Erin Condren of ErinCondrin.com. Erin Condren is a true Southern Californian, born and raised. After graduating from UCLA, Condren moved out to the beach and has never left. After years in the apparel business designing and manufacturing for major U.S. brands, Condren began designing her own clothing line. That same year, she was surprised with a twin pregnancy. Erin found transitioning from working 12-hour days in a sewing factory to becoming a stay-at-home mom quite challenging, and she knew it took 2 incomes for her family to live life at the beach. As a busy mom, Erin began utilizing her creativity, making note cards and gift labels for friends, birthday gifts, new babies, and hostess gifts. A friend encouraged Erin to sell her designs for the first time at a home shopping party in 2004, and the grassroots viral marketing plan was a huge success. After a year of mentoring her at-home business, Al Marco of Marco Fine Arts became business partners with ErinCondrin.com in 2007, and together their companies collaborate in a state-of-the-art printing facility in El Segundo, California. Erin's business has evolved from the initial shopping party to a flourishing internet retail business, along with licensed collections and partnerships with Target, Shutterfly, and Tiny Prints. Features on The Ellen Show, The Today Show, Rachel Ray, and countless magazines and celebrity endorsements, Erin and her team continue to create happy packages that ship all around the world each day. All right, Erin, welcome on to YFU Chat Live. Thank you so much for being on with us tonight and for waiting out our little mouse failure at the beginning.
I'm so sorry your mouse died.
It's so embarrassing. So, Erin,
live again.
I know. So we just talked a little bit about, we did a short video about some of your bio and your background, but you started off on bed rest having twins and then got into business really as a mom, or the business of ErinCondrin.com, and you've scaled quickly. I mean, ErinCondrin.com is not just like a little mom and shop operation. It's huge now. So I guess as a fellow mother, I really want to know, my dying, I need to know secret by the end of this is how did you do it? It takes so much energy. What are your secrets as far as actually making things happen?
You know what, I have to say, and you as a mom know how exhausting it can be. I've always been that highly energetic, never needed a ton of sleep. So I want to start off by saying that. It is just who I am. I never needed more than 5 hours of sleep. So there are people that just can't operate that way. And I'm lucky to have that crazy metabolism, that crazy energy. It's a blessing and a curse. I can't really relax or enjoy a movie. I'm constantly, moving around. But that's part of it. I think that's just who I am, and it's part of what was born into me, and it's part of what typically you'll find in an entrepreneur, though, right? I mean, it's your idea, it's your passion, it's your commitment that drives your idea, and coffee. Coffee.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So those are some those are my secrets that aren't terribly too hot secrets, but
very nice. Well, and actually, I wanted to talk about the brand is my next, I have to know more about this Erin Condren brand. But it's funny, we have at Local Mom blog. She is a blogger that has a network of local moms in small towns. At Local Mom is saying that she covets your office, and a number of the ladies on the chat are saying the same thing. And I think it's true from your office down to your glasses, down to the shoes you wear. I mean, everything about you screams the Erin Condren brand. So how exactly did you develop that brand?
That's hilarious. I've always been that wacky, colorful gal. I mean, when I think back to Identified with Punky Brewster, which you're too young to even probably know who Punky Brewster is.
I know who Punky Brewster is. Come on.
Okay, good. But I always sort of that wacky style. My parents still laugh that they'd wait to see what I was going to come out with in the morning and go off to school in. That I always just had this crazy eclectic style. And I now realize that I guess I do. And I look at what I think seems normal, and I sometimes giggle at myself. So I guess that's always the way I've expressed myself. I've been a fan of fashion my entire life. And then my first job out of college was even in the apparel industry. So I've been really obsessed with textiles and how patterns are made, and a garment is even developed, and that whole production side was fascinating to me early on. So for me to take it to where it is now was just sort of a natural evolution of who I am, and then who this brand has come to be.
Did you ever work with an outside agency in refining it, or was it always just something that naturally or organically came about?
It has always just been me. It's been, even from the first holiday card, I used to make my own holiday cards, and that's really how this whole thing started. And when you think that, friends that said, well, would you make my holiday card? And I love that look and that design and that style. And paper is just so insanely viral. It is very different than any other product when you really think about it. If someone says, oh my gosh, Jen, I love that dress, or you'd have to kind of show me the label, and then I'd write it down. And this is paper. This is something that somebody sent you, whether it's a thank you note or a holiday card or whatever it is that you receive. My logo's right there. It's like, wow, what's this? They go online and go, whoa. I mean, now it's grown into so much. But it started as a simple idea of colorful stationery that made you happy, that made you realize how important it is to still get that handwritten note and that connection to somebody. We're constantly, emailing and texting and posting and tweeting and doing all these things, but there's something that's still so like, just that tactile experience of getting that note, or like you mentioned before, carrying a planner. I mean, I live for this whole paper experience, and I feel like it has helped me be a better mom, be more organized in my day-to-day scheduling, and I'm realizing that obviously it's helping a lot of other people. So,
well, it's not just about being organized. I think it again plays back into the story of Erin Condren and the brand and what it makes you feel. I mean, I can have any regular average planner and it's still not going to make me feel happy or excited to get the day started. There's something about your brand that makes you feel excited and cheerful, and that's why I'm just like, picking apart things. Unfortunately for you, it's not like there was some kind of scripted thing that you went through to create this brand. It's just all about, I think the lesson is to just be authentically you, and you'll find others that connect with that.
I love that. That's exactly what it is. This is authentically me, and if you have an idea that you are that passionate about, I think it's got a better chance of making it. And really, this product, you're right. I had a planner that I didn't like. I thought, well, I've always used it, but I don't love it. And it could be more inspirational. It could be more colorful. And my life planner has evolved since 2007. I mean, every year now it gets better and better because it's about me and my brand, but it's about you and how you've created it and how together we've collaborated to make a really cool product. So yes, I appreciate that it is about the brand, but now my customers are picking their own colors, or they're uploading a new picture or a quote or something from the Bible that's inspired, whatever it is. So it is me. I think I've given you the creativity and the launching pad to connect with my brand, but also make it your own.
Yeah, and you said that you listen to customers. I've noticed like accessories that have come into play, like the elastic bands and little things that you've definitely listened to your customers and put it forward. And you didn't just necessarily make it part. This is one of my things that I love about like the lean startup and the idea of creating a minimum viable product. You didn't add the band so that every planner has that in it. It's something that you can add on, and so it keeps it affordable. It keeps it to just what people want, which I think is a great takeaway in itself, but I'm getting off track. Going back to the Today Show, speaking of Punky Brewster, so you were on the Today Show, and one of the things that you said, and you just mentioned a second ago, was the virality of paper. And you mentioned how at the beginning, one of the things that you did was you printed out more cards or more stationery, whatever it was, than the person had originally ordered. Yes. And that's something that I was always really interested in. It's like the Zappos delivering happiness principle actually made out and effective. It worked for you. So what exactly about adding additional cards in? What did you do that ensured people shared or sent out more cards? Did you say, hey, share my brand, or was it just a natural process?
No, it was a natural process. And I think it depends on the product that you're making. So if people are listening that are making cookies, or, I have a friend that just started a wonderful baked cookies business. Some things your costs of the product are not your biggest expense. It's just your time, right? As a mom, as a young entrepreneur, as whoever, whether you're a mom or not, it's your time that's so incredibly valuable. Once I designed that card, that's what took so long. Instead of printing 50, I print 100. That doesn't take me too long, and my raw costs of the paper were not that great. It's the design time. It still is today, really. It's just the expense of having all these designers and my overhead and my rent and this, that, whatever. But if you're making cookies or candy, give them more. It was the cheapest way to market the product. People spend a ton of money on Google AdWords and all these things that I wish I had the money to spend. I didn't. I still actually don't find that it's as effective as when I give away stuff. So I still like to do giveaways and things that effectively market the product, because nothing is greater than having more people touch it, feel it. I mean, this is a website. Everything is trapped in that computer screen. So the only way for you to fall in love with it is for you to see it. So the more people that have it, the more people that are going to fall in love with it. So it's kind of a really simple concept, but it doesn't obviously apply to people that are doing a handbag line. If it's an expensive leather handbag, you can't send two. So it's kind of a unique concept for products that are really maybe lower cost in their actual raw goods, but it's your time developing the design or the product that really is the bulk of your expense.
Well, and I love the idea of, even if you are doing a handbag, what can you design that's a small price point that you can give away for free and that still embodies your brand?
Yeah, great idea.
And that's something that I've always, kind of put in the back of my mind, what can do the same effect? But I want to point out too that you do have your logo on everything. So it's not just that you're sending out a quality product and someone gets it and it's like, has to go back and ask who this is by. It's it's branded on it. So I think that's an important thing to point out. But as far as, you talked about the website, it's everything's customized. I mean, there's a whole process. You have an upscale warehouse where you have everything created. What was the process of scaling from being a one-stop, you're in your bedroom using your own printer, printing out cards, into today's erincondren.com?
That's such a great question, and especially for any entrepreneurs listening. I remember when I did, yes, absolutely develop this from my home with one HP PhotoSmart printer that became 4, that became 8, that became 10. And then eventually, as this continued to grow, and my husband knew somebody that was in the printing business and said, "Can you please come over and see what my wife has created and help?" And so his name was Al Marco. He's my partner today. But at that time, he just became kind of a business coach and a mentor. And I listened and I learned, and he had done this before. He knew how to be scalable, even from my home operation. And then we realized in 2007, 2006, when I was on the Ellen DeGeneres show for the 12 Days of Holiday Giveaways, it was time to get a bigger boat. So we went into business together, and it's scalability. That the first thing my partner said to me is, "Erin, a lot of people can be entrepreneurs, but it's a very, very difficult jump to make from being an entrepreneur to a successful business person. So much has to happen in that place. There might be, just like your families are a little bit dysfunctional, you might have started your business with family and friends and people that are helping out, and you're going to realize that's not going to fly. We're going to have to probably let some people go. We're probably going to have to make some changes as we grow. You're going to have to have tough skin and make some decisions that are best for the company that might not always be best for that one individual." So that was really hard for me initially, and just watching and making some of those changes that were hard. And scalability has always been a problem for me, I have to say. I mean, as much as I love to see fans and people loving their product in social media, I'm in tears a lot of times looking at the people that are so angry that their order is late or there was a mistake or whatever it was. But we're gaining 1,000 new purchasing customers every few days. I mean, I wish I could turn this thing around and show you the entire 40,000 square foot facility, but
we have some images. Well, let's make sure that we can put those over there. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we're making mistakes as we grow. There's growing pains. You're absolutely going to have growing pains as you scale. It's how you handle them. We don't delete any of those negative comments from Facebook. We just try to make those people happy, and we try to apologize and do what's right. And that's the best that I can do. And I try and staff up. I can't train a designer overnight. It's not going to happen. When we launched Life Planners this year, holy cow. Well, I'm not going to compromise my brand, the integrity of the product, to just throw people in here and start printing. I mean, it takes training. It takes a process of quality control from the beginning of the designer that looks at it and makes it right, to the person that prints it, to the person that coils it, to the person that packs it. It's not easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. And scalability has been my biggest problem, but I feel like we're there. I feel like this party is just getting started. We launched a new website only last month. It took 2 years to develop. The technology, the equipment, everything is finally in place. But has it been tough. It has been learning, and it's not been an easy one.
Well, and you know what I take away from that is that I had no idea. I had no idea that things were rough and that scale is hard for you. I just assumed you've always been doing really well as far as getting all the process going. It all looks smooth to me as an outsider, and I think as an entrepreneur, you kind of wonder, when's it going to get easy for me? And so I think it feels good to me personally to know that you struggled.
Oh, it's
sorry. But also, it also makes me and others, I'm sure, feel better to start from that low point and realize, okay, I might not have everything, but I can still do what I can with what I've got.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
Erin, the holidays are coming up, and you mentioned that you're doing a holiday shoot today, which is why we've got the beautiful blinged out sweater going on tonight.
I've got my Christmas tree hat over there, I guess. I could put it on.
I love it. So holidays are coming up. You mentioned that you don't use Google AdWords. How do you market or ramp up your marketing if you do so for like holiday cards and some of the more seasonal pieces?
Well, what's a great piece of advice, especially for young entrepreneurs, is if you don't have the money to put towards some of those bigger resources or advertising, which is expensive, reaching out to bloggers, there's such an amazingly incredible, powerful blogging community that didn't exist when I first started my business. So I would absolutely recommend that you reach out to bloggers. Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest has been so fabulous to watch how people are sharing their ideas and how they use my products. There's so many great avenues out there for people to use that are free. I do have a fabulous publicist and a PR company that works with me, but that's not always something that someone can afford initially. It was one of my first big expenses, I have to say, but at that time there wasn't social media or anything else. So I think it's something that eventually is so valuable to have a great publicist and to work with PR and different events and co-branding and working with other companies. But if you don't have that initially, you can build up to that expense before you hire a publicist.
So, well, really fast, for working with bloggers, I mean, that's kind of the conversation that we've had a number of times. How do you get people to write about you? Does Erin Condren, I mean, you mentioned that you worked with someone in PR, but I'm assuming that wasn't always the case. How do you initially make that first contact with them and convince them that you're a brand that they should take a look at?
So I knew when I jumped into social media that I couldn't do it alone. And that's something really important to understand, that social media and blogging can become a customer service part of your business. And I could see that through other companies. So I realized, and I was one of the last companies to get onto Facebook and social media. And so when I did that, I hired a social media manager. You can do that a lot of times. They're contracted employees or they're stay-at-home moms, really business savvy or social media savvy gals that can work part-time for you. And so a lot of that has been my social media team reaching out to bloggers, emailing, posting, saying, hey, we'd love to give away or do a giveaway with you or a contest with you. Now they're reaching out to us, which is great. And we often give a discount towards a product for them to do a giveaway, or it depends on the scale or the following of a blog. But yeah, it's been incredibly valuable. And I think you can reach directly out to people, sending them samples. But you'd be surprised how many followers and how much interest you can get just from the blogs.
So one last question, which I didn't warn you about, but as far as being a mom and being someone that is such a family brand, what is your lines? Where do you draw the lines as far as sharing stuff about your kids and sharing your kids on social media or using them in your campaigns?
Well, funny enough, mine are 12 and they dictate that now. Let me it's not up to me. But, I think it's fun to share parts of my life. I love my privacy too, and I don't want it to be ever anything that's too deep into my life. But now, and I think, I think whoever's listening can find out where that comfort level is. For me now, it's hilarious that let me see it first. I don't want you to post that. Oh, no, please don't post that. So, we sometimes do some family giggles and some fun things together, but for the most part, my kids are usually off limits or don't even want to be a part of it anymore. But I think it's just kind of creating that balance of privacy. And I'm not one to be on a reality show or do something like that would really involve the inside of my personal life. I think it's fun to share my brand and things about my brand that are fun, that translate to my life and how they can translate to yours. But it probably draws the line right about there.
So with that being said, would we ever see you on something like Shark Tank or one of those like more business-oriented reality shows?
I don't think so. Yeah, I've got some pretty fun business plans going ahead, and some. I don't think I'll be reaching out to Shark Tank. No.
All right. So, Erin, I want to finish with our feature 5 and just find out a little bit more about who Erin Condren is. What does your work environment look like?
Well, my work environment right now, I do have an office upstairs with a huge design team that's actually in the room behind me. Not right now. It's what time is it? It's 6:30 in Los Angeles. But everything is made here in our factory. So we are made in the USA, which is something I really pride myself on and that I thrive on. I think it fuels my creativity to run downstairs and see it all being made. So whether it's a coiled product, whether it's a photo block that's all laminated downstairs, I love my clipboard. If you've seen these before, but everything is made here. So we've got a lot of really skilled workers from the beginning in the design stage to the end. Somebody that's handcrafting all these products in our workshop. It's like being Santa with my elves. So that's what it looks like. Here is a workshop, a print shop, a state-of-the-art printing facility with a ton of talented elves.
Nice. And now, as far as mentors go or role models, do you have any female role models? Mentors?
I do. Gosh, many. I think I'm right now obsessed with Sheryl Sandberg and the Lean In book that she wrote about her experience as the COO of Facebook and of Google. I also love to look way back. I was just invited to a special birthday celebration of Gloria Steinem, and you see how she's paved the way for so many of us women in business. But then creatively, I'm charged by people like, oh gosh, why am I blanking on her name? From J. Crew, I'm thinking of the creative director, Jenna. Oh, blanking. But anyway, I love to look at women in fashion. I love to see brands like Kate Spade and Trina Turk as they continue to grow and evolve. So I'm just a big fan of a lot of women in business right now.
Nice. And then, Erin, you're in Southern California. What do you do outside of erincondren.com?
As an entrepreneur, you do live and breathe your business, I have to say. It's a fun business, so I'm happy about that. A lot of the things that I do at work, I can also bring home and infuse into my personal life. But when we have chill time, believe it or not, we're entertaining. My husband is a phenomenal cook, thank goodness, because it's never when I guess if I tried, it could be maybe, but it's never been a hobby of mine because he's always in the kitchen. So we love to entertain. We have a wonderful block. We're constantly doing, even if it's pancakes on our street on Sunday mornings, and we have a lot of fun in our neighborhood. And people think that's crazy, that's what I do to relax, but we do a lot of entertaining.
Fun. And at J. Delphine is saying Jenna Lyons.
Jenna Lyons, there you go. Gosh, how could I be blanking? I'm so charged by everything that she does. I mean, this is a J. Crew sweater. So Jenna Lyons, thank you.
Very cool. So now, as far as advice for young female entrepreneurs go, what would you give someone that is interested in getting started?
Boy, it's a tough road. It is not something for the weak. That is for sure. You need to probably, like I said, not sleep as much as other people do. I mean, when you think about how I started this when my babies were so little, and the doctor would even say, or my mom would even say, the minute the kids go down for a nap, you've got to get your rest. That's when you need to get your rest. And that really wasn't an option for me as the business was growing. They would go down and I'd madly print in my office. I'd put them down at night and same thing. I'd work till midnight. So I just think that you have to let your passion fuel your commitment and your dedication, and don't ever let go. I mean, I really haven't. There's been times in this business that were so tough. And I remember the days when working from home and my mom would come in and I was in tears saying, I don't think I can get all these orders out. And I think I'm going to disappoint people. And my mom, it's a funny story. I remember her rubbing my back saying, oh, honey, let's shut down this website. Your mental health is more important than all these orders. And then my husband comes in and looks at the dollar amount and goes, oh, hold on a minute. Maybe you just need to relax, or let me bring you a piece of pie, or whatever it was. And so I think it's just knowing that it's hard. It's not always easy, and it still isn't. But it's a fun journey if you make it one. But it requires never-ending endurance and commitment.
I think you're a great role model for the idea that attitude is everything, especially as an entrepreneur, looking at it, no matter how crummy entrepreneurship can be at times, it's all about your attitude and how you pull through it. So, Erin, our last question for you is kind of a slowly one. What is your drink of choice?
My drink of choice? Wow. Well, I'm going to think wine right now. I'm looking forward to it. We have some friends from Spain that are in town, and they're amazing cooks, and I know they're making sangria at home. So I guess it depends on the time of the year, but I love a summer cocktail. I love a glass of wine. I love Diet Coke. That's more caffeine that I probably don't be needing, but I'd say those are, I picked 3. There you have it.
Very nice. Well, you fit in well with us at YFE. So, Erin, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. Where can everyone find you after this?
My website is erincondrin.com, and that's where you can find all my collections of personalized goodies. We just launched our luggage today, which has been really fun, tracking some of those sales and whatnot. But that's where to find me. I'm online at the website, and look forward to hearing from people, or through our customer service line. I often get feedback and emails that they forward to me so I can connect, and I do my best to get back to everybody.
Oh, awesome. Well, Erin, thank you so much for spending time with us tonight. I know it's late and that you have people in town, so I'm going to let you go. But thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
This was great. Thanks for having me, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Erin. So we've just been speaking with Erin Condren of erincondrin.com. Hopefully you guys will all check her out. If you haven't, I've been looking at the Twitter and the comments. The Twitter. Gosh, why do I always say that? I've been looking at your Twitter comments, and it looks like all of you guys already know the brand, and hopefully you'll check out her new luggage line and the holiday card. So we're going to go ahead and bring on Stacy for some last thoughts before we end the show, and make sure that I can get everyone's voice in, or let everyone's voice be heard. So let's go ahead and bring Stacy on. Stacy, are you there? Hi, Stacy.
Hi, guys.
Oh, Erin's on still.
Hi, Erin. I love the chat.
Oh, Erin, if you want to hang out with us for a little bit longer, you can. But yeah, Stacy, definitely say hi to Erin.
Hi, Erin. I loved it, and I loved hearing from another mom.
Maybe I missed that.
So I was excited.
I think she missed it. Well, all right. So, Stacy, what's going on Twitter and on the chat?
Well, pretty much everybody loves Erin, which I think is probably pretty standard for one of our chats because we get such great guests. But Nice Lady Thought had some really good insights, was talking about sort of the hustle that all of us go through, and we all really liked hearing that, it doesn't happen overnight. Corey Freeman had a really good tweet that now I can't find. Oh, here it is. Remember that inspirational stories are only inspirational for other people. And it's so true. Sometimes we get so stuck in our stuff that we forget that somebody else is going to be inspired by this when we're massively successful.
That's a great point.
That's what I'm going to go with.
Very nice. Well, Stacy, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Where can everyone find you after this?
Thanks for having me. You guys can connect with me at thestaceyharris.com or just at thestaceyharris on Twitter. I'm there all the time, and I am here every Thursday.
All right, perfect. All right, so you've been watching episode 85 of YFE Chat Live, the live show that happens every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. Next Thursday, we don't have a show. It's Halloween. Hopefully, you guys are all out celebrating. I am having fun, being safe, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you the following Thursday. We're featuring someone that creates a natural toothbrush. Very excited about that. She's down in Los Angeles as well. So we're going to be talking to 2 Southern California people back to back. A lot is going to be happening with YFE in between those couple weeks, though. So make sure that you sign up at yfe.me/mailed it to get the lowdown on everything, because we're going to be making a couple fun little changes here and there, and I want to make sure that everyone stays in the loop. So, this has been Jennifer Dono hosting YFE Chat Live. Thank you all so much for showing up live. If you have comments or need anything after this, my personal email address is j@youngfemaleentrepreneurs.com. Reach out to me and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. If you're waiting to hear from me, don't worry. Just give me a day or so and I'll make sure I reply to you. All right, so thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to our sponsors, Ovalite and MailChimp, and I'll see you next Thursday.